Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Raymond Terrace Bowling Club, where we are watching the 2023-24 New South Wales Rookie Singles Finals. Today we've got Ross Walker from Engadine against James Telfer from Urimba at the magnificent Raymond Terrace Bowling Club. What a great place this is. I got to check it out a bit last night. Looking around, there's about, I saw 5 pubs, a bunch of hairdressers and some really historic buildings, and a lovely place to be actually, Raymond Terrace. I'm glad to be here. I've just kicked off now because they're not having any trial ends. They're getting straight into it, and I'm sure you'll all have this up on your screens at home. I'm Benny Two Shoes. Joining me later on will be hopefully a cornucopia of wonderful commentators and other people. Lots of people here watching on at the moment. I've got a little crowd sitting off to my left watching someone else down here, and some really interesting names. Now, the rookies format, obviously, these are the guys that are... well, you'd assume the newest. A bit different this year. We've had a COVID stoppage, and a lot of this is make-up games, so we don't want anyone to miss out. This is a great format and completely amazing. Philip Lubke straight on the line, well done. The guys out there right now just setting up. Andrew Lynn running around with a camera. He'll be coming and joining me soon, which is great news. I can tell you now that YouTube is up and running. I'll just chuck that on there. Once again, as always, do not click on any links that are asking you for money. We don't ask. We're not going to make you pay for anything. If someone's asking you to pay, they're scamming you. Don't click on those. Bad for you. So I hope you're getting this up at your clubs. There's the YouTube link in the comments right now. I'll pin that. These competitions always get a lot of support from the people involved and the people that matter. And one thing you'll notice as I switch over to the camera at the other end is that there's bright, shiny patch of sunshine right there on the green, which is making it pretty difficult at the moment to see. But I'll do my best to make sure you can see what's coming down the green. That'll improve during the day, I'm sure. So once again, thanks everyone for joining us. We're starting to get the numbers on already. A bunch of you here to watch this. Lots of interest in this competition. Anyone who's watched these broadcasts over the last few weeks, I've been down at Huskisson, I've been at Cabramatta, and this is probably the last live stream I'll do this year. The rest of it's me travelling around doing Bowls Link stuff, which is less fun than this, I can assure you. So just waiting up. So we're sitting now. Just to give you an idea on why we can't see anything, there's Andrew Lynn standing there talking to the guys now, making sure they toss the coin properly and do all the right things. Well, we're up there in what they call a fishbowl. I say I'm up there right now in the fishbowl back there. And we've got a great view of this rink. This is what we'll be recording the whole time. And there's your lads and the markers from Raymond Terrace Bowling Club, the Jets. Great support of this club and brilliant volunteers as always in bowls. It's one of the, I say it all the time on this, the volunteerism in sport is generally declining. In bowls, it seems to be going strong. We love our game, we love what we do for it, we love our clubs. And it's a great way to be. So this is Raymond Terrace Bowling Club. The first green. Magnificent, bright, shiny day, and I hope everyone, I'm just thinking of the people down south right now, if you're caught up in the floods, if you're caught up in anything, and you've been in danger or you've been living through that stress, I hope you're safe, I hope you're well, I hope your families are safe. Big storms last night once again. All right, looks like James Telfer leading off. Singles format, 17 up. These are quick games, make no mistake. No gaps, straight into it, no roll-ups. A lot of these players were down here yesterday rolling up all afternoon. That one just running a little long. We are told that, especially in the afternoon when the breeze picks up, the wind whips up underneath the cover from behind where the camera is right now, straight down towards the players, and often it gets quicker in the other direction. So we'll see how that plays out today. Excellently, Ross Walker's got white bowls, so they're pretty easy to see. Yeah, good shot there. Great leading up. Singles is, as my great mate and one of my early mentors in bowls down at St George's Basin used to tell me, is one close every time. If you're close every time, then you're only going to drop one, or you're going to get one at least. So a little bit of correction there. He's got to find the grass, I think, Mr. Telfer. Anyone in the chat line can tell me about James, that'd be great. Luke Cashel, welcome. Mark Baker, yeah. Good luck to Guy Wilton. Thanks, Philip. And Glen Whale, Leanne Darcy, you can do it. She's got my personal vote as well, being a South Coast lady from my former club at St George's Basin there. She's well supported by the Open Club, who've helped to get up there. She's playing this afternoon though, Glenn, not this morning. And I'll keep an eye on her for you. She was rolling up yesterday and looking really good, by the way. That's a better bowl by James. Well done. Touching Jack, just running through, folding back and maybe getting the shot. James is a lefty, Sam tells me. Sam, you're obviously related one way or the other. Thank you for that. And carry away, go the Warrigy boys. Now, I haven't actually seen the Warrigy boys. Oh, that's the pairs. My apologies. That's this weekend. A lot of interest in those lads too. Very new bowlers have come across and recruited. Oh, geez, you'd be able to tell me yourself. I think they came across from the golf club when I was still the RBM back in the day. Kerry, you'll be able to tell me more about that. But that's the pairs that's coming up this weekend. 4 games today. A bit of a marathon effort for Andrew Lynn and I. If Andrew shows up, he's probably still running around doing the cards and looking after things. Now I am live scoring this, so I'll put the link in the this game only. It's a bit hard for me to follow all. I think there's 8 games happening here at the moment on 2 greens. Bit difficult for me to do all of them, but I'll keep this one live scored so you can actually see the card as well. I'll put the link in the Facebook chat shortly. Oh, he doesn't want to clunk in that front one. Wants a clear run. Oh, it's nearly got it. Was probably a bit weighty. Maybe looking to move that blue bowler James out a little bit. As the players walk down the rink now, it's tough to see once again in the shade. I'll pop in a little bit and close that screen right up. Now we can see a bit better as the light adjusts nicely. The lads have been asked by the guys to make sure I get the players on a bit more and not just the bowls. Oh, quick look at the camera. James Telfer, number 1. Beautiful. All right, let's have a look at this end. Now, this is the camera that, if you're watching at Cabramatta, this camera's got a little bit of a colour issue. Actually, doesn't look too bad on the under the cover. I'll just make sure I adjust that properly. Just kick off some rust. It's been at least a week since I've done this. On the backhand for the left-hander, looking at and drawing this in, white is perfect. Players were saying you get really late turn on these on the synthetic as well, which is very interesting to me. Joe Burton saying he loves the game of night bowls. Yeah, the indoors was great. Is that Chris Kent? John Lindsay, I assume that's the marker there. Yep, good volunteer. Glad he's here. John Lindsay will be here tomorrow. Good on you, mate. Love this competition. Love to see the new bowlers getting represented well and getting their faces out there a little bit and their names. Some familiar names out here on the green. There's Chanel Chakouche is playing 3 rinks down at the moment, or 2 rinks down. And from St John's Park. Lots of good shirts, lots of good clubs represented around here as well. So just running around the sections, I'll call the names out. So round one, in section 1, which is playing now, Heath Austin and Paul Kerwin there from Parks Railway. I think that's Wiseman's Park is Heath Austin. Brett Goodchild from South Tamworth and Chanel from St John's Park. That's all of section 1. Section 2, which we're looking at right now, is Dean Pope from Ingleburn and Kane Carmichael from Malua Bay. Now, Kane Carmichael, sadly, is one of the players that was the lead in the team that beat me on the weekend in the Zone 7 Grade 2 pennant finals. So I'm a little bit cranky at him at the moment. No, he played extremely well, and he's one to watch. I think one of the dark horses of this competition is Kane. The redhead over there, as he was yelling out, it was a bright sunny day down at Mollymook, where we played on the synthetic down there, and one of the guys complained, "Geez, it's hot," and he yelled out, "You should try being a ranger," which amused us all. So he's there right now playing with these lettuce bowls. But this head's getting better and better as Ross Walker drops one in. That may be shot. You can see how they're continuing. You can see the finish on this carpet green. Beautiful surface. I had a bit of a roll yesterday myself, and it does finish. James just doing the right thing, asking the marker the questions, which is not just allowed, but recommended. You've got to know what shot to play. You don't have a skip up there guiding you in. But the markers will answer any question you tell them, you ask them. And but that's all. So on that forehand, you can see him coming quite wide, waiting for the finish now. Rolling around back to the line, or actually back past the line. That ball went out a long way to come back. At the end of this, I might duck down and see exactly use the camera there to see exactly what kind of bowls he's using. And back to this, so we're watching Ross and James Telfer in section 3, which is over on the other green. William Deenan from Daveston RSL and Stuart Vaughan from Campbelltown. Artie Stacey from Temora X versus Sean O'Toole from Curry. Back to the bowls. Another great shot there from Ross. We'll see what this is. I get the feeling it's 2. One. A closer look here. So no call. We'll have to get that man some paddles too. So I'll keep an eye on the scoreboard. I get the feeling it was 2. And let's see what these bowls are. They're coming in so fast and so far. They look XG-ish to me. See if we can see the top of it. Yep, their hence lights looks like an XG, so that's good news. So watching that delivery, I'll just manage the other camera in for you. So shorter end, this will be nice. We'll be able to see the bowls coming down a little better with that sun patch. Beautiful. So I'll keep an eye on that scoreboard because that has changed, and I think it's 2, but I'd hate to tell you the wrong the wrong score. It was definitely a 2. Beautiful. So this game being updated live through the results portal, through the live scoring app, by me just sitting here doing this, and it's a really handy thing. You can go online and see the score, not just the score. You'll see the That's the word I'm looking for. The card as well. Interesting start from these lads. First bowl's going down a little bit long and back. And Seymour saying, Merry Christmas to me and my family. Thanks, Anne. I appreciate that very much, and to you and yours as well. Jason Pinnock saying, best concept out there. Massive fan of the rookies competition. Well done, the male model from Maclean. I was asked to give a shout out to you by one of the players out here. I think you'll know who I'm talking about. Big bald bloke. And definitely wanted me to call you the male model of Maclean too. Yep, that's right, Kayleen. It is carpet under here. And 2 greens of carpet. They have a grass green out the other side of the club here at Raymond Terrace. And it is a really beautiful surface. Philip saying he timed the green at 18.4 seconds. Yeah, it's pretty quick at the moment. You can really see the finish on the bowl, especially this one coming down now, just ducking past Jack. But all 3 of his bowls well past. That's Ross Walker's white bowls there. What a contemplation on the face there from James. Just short again and crossing the line as well. He's got some correction to do. He's getting closer every time. Well, my apologies. His first bowl was actually the middle one there. So let's watch Ross here down his forehand again. He's played 3 pretty good bowls down that way. And finishing a metre back. So that's about a metre back. So those 3 bowls at the back are about a metre past. The second bowl is just ahead of Jack, and definitely the shot. In fact, I'd say he's holding 4 there, a full handful. So a bit of work here from James. He wants this one to at least get in. This is the one close rule I was talking about before. Looks pretty good to there. It's got a lot of turning left to do. Round it comes. Oh, beautifully onto Jack. Great correction. That's an important bowl by James Telfer. So 2 all in this 17 up game. Bright, shiny day here yesterday. Very big contrast to what it was yesterday, I can tell you now. It was messy and thunderstormy and as sweaty a setup as I have ever done. Remarkable. B. Hughes saying, well done to Mick Bell for introducing the rookies. I'm not sure of the history of it, mate, but they were talking about that out there, I think. It's interesting, the history of this competition. I know I played in it back in the day. One of the first things I ever did in bowls, in fact. And sorry, I'll find the right camera. There it is. And one of the first things I ever did in bowls was this rookies competition. It was one of the things that really got me involved in wanting to play more of the state level and the high level competitions, because it's just an introduction to a competition level. I didn't get very far, by the way. Not a great singles player, and in the pairs, I think we got beaten in the final the year I did it. I'm just trying to remember that now. Yeah, but it's a great competition to be in. And so, well done to the organisers. Well done to Raymond Terrace for supporting it all these years. We always hold it here. I'm told, again, I'm still fairly new to the organisation, and wearing the Bowls New South Wales shirt, but always held at Raymond Terrace. It's just one of those things. Raymond Terrace supports it so strongly and do it so well and have the facility for it. So this is a place to be for all of these bowlers, and well done to them for continuing their support for this competition. So on the other, as I move away from that screen for a sec, I'll just keep an eye on this bowl as it comes down. Looks pretty good. Long and short here by both these players. Want a bit of correction now. This one running, lots of turning left to do, and it's going to sit 2 feet behind Jack. 4 shot. Very good bowl there. Other than that, we've got section 4 over there, just playing on the next green again. We've got Sarah Bracken from Urunga. It's an open competition as well, which is brilliant. Rowan Marshall from Denniston. Stephen Tinknell from from Munmora. And Scott Caruso from Cardiff. In section 5, and these are the games going to be played this afternoon. Barry Nash, Mark Lawrence. Barry Nash from North Haven, where I was just recently, by the way, and a lovely club at North Haven. If you're ever up in that area, you can go and check that place out. It's beautiful. Great view over the river. Mark Lawrence, Balgowlah. David O'Connell from Greenleaf Park against Benjamin Rousel from Raymond Terrace. A local lad. We'd like to see that too. Section 6, Chris Landis from Greenleaf Park versus Jake Brown, Parks Railway. The TV game this afternoon is Joel Field from Charlestown and against Robert Tilt from Foster. Someone's going to tell me off for that, I'm sure. West Australian, see. Oh, there's a great name there from, that's longer than my name. Ian Bijawarapapa. Actually, I think I've done that pretty well. Western Suburbs Leagues against Michael Kelly from Asquith. Gary Wilton Camden versus David Majorana from Campsie South. And in the final section, in section 8, Leanne Darcy from St George's Basin versus Michael O'Reilly from Kiama, local competition there, and David Beaumont from Yamba against Ashley Mills from Warrawee. So that's all of the competitors in this singles game, in this singles final. Something's happened to my camera there while I was talking. Sorry, everyone, that's terrible. I do apologise for that, everyone. I was going through the names and not showing you the bowls. That's terrible of me. Crab in the house. Yeah, well done, Mick Bell and Bondi Bowling Club, who initiated the concept and ran the tournament for several years until we took it up. Yeah, brilliant. No, interested in that history as well. Bondi Bowling Club, one of the genuinely great clubs in New South Wales. If you're heading out anywhere, if you're in the city and you want to go and have a really relaxed time, a great game of social bowls at a wonderful club that serves great food, get to Bondi. They're fantastic. I love them. It was my office set up. And after talking to myself silly here, I've got an offsider. So tell me a story. I'm going to ask you the same question I ask everyone that turns up. Who are you and what are you doing here?
My name is Lennon Scott and I'm working.
You're working, of all things. Coming here wearing a Raymond Terrace jacket. What's your position here, Lennon?
Bowls coordinator, mate.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome to the coverage, and we're glad you're here, and well done supporting this competition. I was just singing the praises of Raymond Terrace for supporting this for so many years. Pretty good contest here at the moment, so I just need to get the young marker there some paddles, I think, because I'm not entirely sure what's going on with the scores at times, but I'm keeping track of the scoreboard.
Get Andrew onto that.
That's it. Andrew should be sitting next to me as well, by the way. He's down there in the middle just gas bagging.
He's good at that.
Yeah. Known for it, in fact. You see a bit of water on the green there.
You can.
On that, has it been watered?
Got watered yesterday morning. Just brings a bit of pace into it, or in both greens. So when they're wet, they run a little bit better. Obviously, there's a tipping point. If they're too wet, they'll slow down. If they're too dry, they'll slow down. But yeah, so they got watered yesterday morning. Try to get a decent playing surface, decent bit of pace in it for the players.
Yeah, I wasn't actually aware of that, but that's good information, because I know the plastic surfaces,
yep,
when you water them, they get quicker. Down at Mollymook, they start fast and end slow.
Yeah, well, this one's covered over, so it generally holds the moisture in it a bit longer. So you water it, water on the Friday. It's usually good for 3 or 4 days.
Magnificent. So these blokes, I'm told James Telfer's a left-hander using the dark blue Hens lights, the XGs there. That's a great shot there by Ross Walker.
James has been here rolling up quite a bit, actually. He's been coming up. There he is. Andrew
should be here, sitting there next to JR, I think, talking to one of the board members who don't like getting their heads on camera, so I'll just quickly cut away from that. There's
No, but anyway, I was saying James has been rolling up. He's been coming to the galas quite a bit. Last couple of weeks, he's been here on a Wednesday morning. Well, it's one of our galas that we run on a Wednesday morning. He's been here playing on the greens and trying to get his eye in and partaking in the bacon and egg roll, which is part of the package on a Wednesday morning.
Oh, we love that. So Urimba's quite close to here for anyone that doesn't know. Urimba's just down the road. You have to drive through. If you're coming from Sydney, you have to drive through Urimba to get here. Nice little place. There's a pie shop down there too, isn't there? Heatherbray Pies.
Heatherbray Pies, yeah. That's actually started at Heatherbray, which is just up the road, Raymond Terrace. So the players sort of coming back this way haven't quite picked up with the fact that it's a bit too paced this green. It's uphill going this way.
Oh.
So you'll notice that's why they've fallen a little bit short.
Yeah.
Although James should be a bit more wised up to that, having rolled up here a bit.
Yeah. We were talking about that this morning, and sometimes the wind comes through. I think greenkeeper was telling me. Jamie, is it?
Yeah, Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie, the greenkeeper, was telling us, and then sometimes it blows through, and going towards the club can get quite quick.
Yeah, so coming towards the club is faster on this green, and then coming away from the club is slower. And then if you do get a little bit of breeze, like Jamie said, it does exaggerate that a bit. But generally, you don't get too much wind under here. The covers are a bit or low enough on the on the exposed sides to sort of get the wind go over the top. Obviously, this end is protected by the club, and the other end's protected by the jacarandas. So there's 4 short ones.
Yep. So holding 2 now is Ross, and a bit of a free kick as well. So I've got to update that score. Apologies, everyone. I'm just chasing down the scoreboard at the moment. I had someone standing in the way of it.
You know what? I'm going to go and get some paddles for Chris, and I'll be back.
No worries, mate. Sounds great. Thank you very much. So I've got one to, looks like James Telford there. So 2 to 3 it should be. But a 3 here is going to change it up, and that's pretty good. Crossed a bit more than he wanted to, I think. Ben Rouse, good morning, boys. Show us your paddles, Chris, Mark. Yep, so we've got Lennon's running out doing that now. Fun fact, James' father's name is actually Ross. We'll be interesting to see who's calling who dad after this. Goodness me. So you can see bright shiny once again sitting out there. It's yesterday was so humid. It was my poor thin West Aussie blood was not coping with it at all. I've just remembered, I promised you that I'd put the link to the live scoring in this, so I'll do that right now. Now, if you look at this link that I'm about to drop in the Facebook comments, right there, and open that in a new tab next door to the one you've got, then you'll be able to actually keep track of the scoreboard the scorecard as it goes through. This 1st to 17 game, often a matter of interest. If you're like me and you like your statistics, then that's a great thing to see and have. Lennon's back. Welcome back, mate. Thanks for that.
No worries.
You're all over it. So tell me a bit of your history, mate.
Yep.
When did you start bowls?
So I started playing bowls. Well, I got my first set of bowls when I was 4 years old.
Goodness.
They were just some Henselite indoor bowls, like the real tiny ones with the tiny little jacks. Used to roll up and down the hallway with my old man. And then I've got into bowls properly playing bowls when I was 13. Yeah, so playing outdoor bowls since I was 13.
Nice.
Yeah, at Devonport Bowling Club in Tasmania is where I started.
Oh, you're a Tasmanian.
No, I'm not, but yeah, that's where I started.
So you started.
Yeah.
Wow, so you're not Tasmanian. Are you New South Welsh?
Yes.
And how'd you end up at Raymond Terrace?
So Central Coast boy, growing up down Niagara Park, Warimba, like right next door to Warimba. ended up in Tasmania, doing grade 8 all the way through to 1.5 years of uni, and then I came over here on a holiday. I watched a game of Premier League at Beresfield back in the day,
Yeah.
watching Steve Glasson and all those guys play, and I was like, wow, this is awesome. So tried to get my foot in the door down this way, or up this way, I should say. And that's a good shot, that.
That's a great shot under his front.
Yeah, so then I ended up sort of moving to Raymond Terrace on the back of one of the club members, or the CEO at the time, got me a job at Port Waratah Coal Loader. So I dropped out of uni and picked up and came over here and took a bit of a punt on trying to play bowls. And, I don't know, fell on my feet, I guess.
That's it. And the rest is history, so to speak. So I think Ross looking to move that one off. Played it pretty well.
Great weight.
Just unlucky not to get the right side of that.
So in this game, I'm sure you'll realise it, or you'll pick up on it, and for every other game on this live stream, I reckon you'll find that the better bowls will be played in this direction. Just a little kinder.
That's it. Little bit of inside knowledge there. We like that. Inside baseball, as the Yanks would call it. I'll just send Andrew a message and see if he pays attention to me. He's still gasbagging down there. I just wanted to put some names on that scoreboard too. That'd be nice.
Bit tough with the sun coming down this time of the morning too. It's hard to see. Well, this is a bit of an aggressive shot here. Is he going to get down enough? Oh, yeah, he's got it, but I think he's still going to be down on the tee. It's hard to say with the camera angle, but yeah, from here looking out the window, it looks like he's still down on the tee to the blue one. So, toucher in the ditch. Chris has just marked that one. We've got James asking the question. I think the answer will be blue.
So I was just talking to my boss then, Lee Stinson.
Up and down, apparently.
Up and down is what he said. So that was the kill, I guess. Looking back, and there's Jack on the tee. It's pretty unusual to sit there by itself.
Yeah.
So, yeah, wow. Yeah, respot, 17 up. Short games here. They're quick. We'll be going all day. We're here till late tonight. In fact, well, not late tonight, 7:30 tonight. 12 hours of this. You'll be here the whole time as well, you poor man.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I get to sit next to you. That's good.
So,
as long as you'll have me sitting next to you, that's fine.
Of course I will. Now, the next thing I was just told, and that's what the boss came to tell me.
This will come back all this, you know. No, this will come back. This is a good shot. He's picked that beautifully.
Yeah, that's magnificent bowl around those front ones. Wowee. I don't think I honestly would have gone the other direction. So that perfectly.
That side's the wider side of the green, so you've got to trust your line out there. Like, there's no doubt, as you saw, that he was going to get back around those short ones. You just got to really trust the line and the fact the bowl's going to do the work once it gets to the breaking point.
Yeah, the guys were saying you have to, yesterday, trust that your bowl will come back because a little unexpectedly at times. Measures coming out.
That's the thing about synthetic greens, is just, and especially these ones, is that they really do exaggerate your draw lines. So you find that when you're coming from grass to plastic, it is a little bit of an adjustment. But it's just, I found when I first came here playing on the synthetic greens that I was taking, I had to imagine taking a little bit more grass than what I thought. Just because you get a bit of vicious movement at the death.
So let's see, we've got paddles coming out now. So that was 1 to James Telfer from Urimba.
Yeah, I thought it was 2, but...
So did I. Looking at the camera angle.
Good judge, Chris. Hey? I'll give him a rap. Chris is one of our younger bowlers here. He come up through the junior program. I remember Chris when he first started. He was not very good. He'll tell you that too. Don't worry. He is improved in leaps and bounds. In fact, Chris got the most improved bowler of the year at our presentation night, the most recent presentation night. Like I said, young kid straight out of high school, it was grade 7, I believe, and he's pretty well grown up at the club, and he's become a very good club man and a pretty handy bowler too.
All right, so I've been told, Lennon, to call you out.
Yes, mate.
I said, how you going in bowls? Tell me a bit of your history. And you failed to mention that you're a state singles winner.
Good on you.
Who did you beat in that game?
Every time yeah.
Was told not to let you be modest. Lee Stinson.
No, I didn't beat Lee Stinson.
No, I know. It was Aaron Sheriff, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so pretty handy bowler in your own right, mate. So I'll give you some kudos and celebrate your wins, buddy.
It was one day.
One perfect day.
I had a good day that day. Yeah, that was at Edelon Bowling Club, actually, where I was introduced to lawn bowls. Dad was a member down at Edelon when I was growing up, so I spent many a day at the Edelon Bowling Club watching bowls, watching my dad play, and all my uncles played Edelon as well, my granddad. So, yeah, introduced at Edelon and ended up winning the state singles at Edelon, so it was a little bit sweet for me as well. Obviously, Aaron was an Edelon player at that time. He had a bit of a vocal following, but I had a few there too, which sort of helped me keep my nerve a bit when it got pretty close.
Yeah, it lifts you, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's worked out the longer end or the heavier end this way. Snuck in for another one, I think.
So let's have a look who else is on the line at the moment. Ben Rousel, like I said. Sally Smith, go James.
Benny Rousel's playing in the singles as well. He's starting in the afternoon session.
That's it. Jeff Gibson from Eastwood in the UK, Wednesday night, -1.
Wow.
It's a good time to be sitting up watching bowls.
Yeah, I hope he's got the heater on.
That's right. Nathan Bazant saying he'll get no work done. He doesn't work anyway, so that's fine.
Who's that?
Crab. Nathan Bazant from down at Berwick.
Oh, righto.
I call.
This is a different sort of a shot. I probably would have tried to take the shot off him on the other hand, but look, he's running for cover a little bit, is he?
Looks like it to me. Looks past. Getting some jumpiness on that camera at the moment. It doesn't like being in the sun.
So, just one of those things with I don't know, like obviously all these guys are rookies, you know, and there's more than one way to skin a cat, but I probably would have been trying to take the shot off him on the backhand or his forehand.
I think I agree with that. He's left that open there. And this guy knows this green, as you said, it's been rolling up here.
Yeah, he's pretty close if he doesn't get away too much.
Jeez, great effort. Down 2 though, in the end.
Yeah, I must say, James is he's a bit better than what he's showing at the moment.
Some nerves, do you think?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, like I said, he's been here playing a fair bit, and I've seen him play some better bowls than that. Don't worry. He kept on putting his name down as a lead on the Wednesday gala. I kept on putting him over as a skipper once I saw him play once. It's a funny thing about social bowls. Everybody wants to play a lead.
That's fear.
Hey?
Don't want to be made look silly. That's it.
This is coming from a pretty good area as well. If he's got the running, he's going to count.
He doesn't have to run too much more. That'll do. I reckon that's a 3. 3 to Ross Walker from Engadine. I'm sure we'll get the call very shortly.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to
Yeah, he's
he's
already given us an indication. Good on him.
Yep, so Raymond Terrace Bowling, Raymond Terrace Bowling Club's been the host of the state rookies since its inception, I believe. And we're only too happy to have them here every year. In fact, it's a bit of a privilege and an honour to be able to have them here every year. This year's competition's been expanded, so was just 16 players contesting the singles and 16 teams in the pairs, but we've gone to 32 now, so it's doubled the length of the competition. So we get 4 days of the rookies here at the club, which is a good thing, and it also gives those guys that would have missed out previously an opportunity to come here and play in a state championship, which is always a good experience. And obviously a different experience having played on a green undercover here at Raymond Terrace. A lot of people wouldn't have been able to or had the opportunity to do that. Different surface, different experience, different environment. It's certainly good for the competitors. Holds them in good stead in their bowls moving forward, just exposing themselves to different conditions.
It is brilliant. It's a brilliant competition in Raymond Terrace. taken over since Bowls New South Wales started looking after it or developed the concept. I think from memory. Well, someone in the comments was saying it started at Bondi back in the day, and
Mick Bell was the man,
Yeah.
I believe. Just apologise for the camera. It's just with that sun, it's hard to get the contrast right. But
oh no, she's and that camera doesn't like contrast anyway. It's the newer one we've got in the thing, and I've never been able to fix the washout, but it makes greens look good, so that's okay.
it's just a shame I can't see the scoreboard or the players. But you're on top. But you're on top of it, so it's all good.
That's it. Yeah, I've got the live scoring happening. As I said, you can jump on the results portal. One of the best things in BowlsLink happening at the moment is that results portal. Look, I can just show you this as this bowl comes down. Andrew Lynn just putting the score, just found some chalk for me. But nearly finished beautifully. But that's you're right so far. Better bowls coming this way than the other way.
Yeah. Like I said, it just runs on a little bit more. It's easier to find your weight. The other one, it's surprising how shovey it is going back towards the fence. It's surprisingly pushy. So a bit of which in itself, it opens itself up to a number of tactics that you can employ. So, you've got the old keeping them on the toes thing, sort of throwing short one way and long the other. Sort of with the two-pace green, it sort of keeps people on their toes a bit. If you can manage to pick up the pace in both directions better than the other person, then that's certainly a pretty good tactic generally. I'm not sure if somebody's playing with that tactic at the moment because this jack's a little bit shorter than the last one. So
yeah, that's interesting. Good and a really good point, and good for the rookies. I think some of the more serious tactics that the more experienced players will play. It's interesting to see how well these guys have been coached in that and reading heads and things like that as well. So
yeah, so obviously you've got everybody has a favourite length and and they like to have that be their go-to, but sometimes when you just you think that you've got a better feel for the green, it's an idea to keep them guessing with the length and not get them an opportunity to get in any sort of rhythm.
Well, good back bowl there. Probably looking for some cover in the end. He's got the tee so far.
He's got a good shot on here though, James. Just sort of get down under his own, trail the jack, land the white bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Even his bowl's on the run too, so even if he misses wide, it should push it in for second at least. He's pretty close.
Yeah, well, duck under now. It's got a lot of turning here.
Here it comes. Little edge. There we go.
Yeah, well done. As you said, every shot he had was on that hand. Played the percentages beautifully, and he's now sitting in front of Jack and holding one. He's about 3 inches in front of Jack, I'd say, looking out the window.
Yeah. So it's forced a visit from Ross. Ross's first or his last bowl now is going to give him a little bit more to play with. So he's 2 seconds, best back. I think we'll see a bit of an aggressive shot here.
So first thing, let's have a look. Engadine Cougars, the club itself has commented and said, Roscoe very handy, one of the 15 soccer boys that took the game up at Engadine Bowling Club a few years back. That'd be a good story. I'd like to hear that one. Reuben and Nobby came from a couple of the group, playing in the pairs on the Saturday. We love the little nurseries. That's what clubs have, is those social nurseries. Yeah,
and that's there's a little bit of a local legend story there, mate. Coming out of soccer and into bowls, and he finds himself at a state championship. Yeah, I thought he'd be aggressive. We'll see how he goes. Chop it off. Oh, not quite.
Oh, he's got it.
Yeah,
no, it's still going actually.
No, I think the back one's the shot. It's hard to say from here.
Let's see if that comes through. It's not going to. Sorry, everyone. Let's not do that. I've got another video queued up, and it's sitting there in the case instead of that one. So apologies. We'll probably show it now. This is all the players getting their photos taken. There you go.
And we have a young lady in the mix there too.
Yeah, that's Chanel Chakouche sitting there from St John's Park. She's playing off to our left, and I think that's... I've forgotten the name. Sonia there. I met her the other day as well, or yesterday as well. So as we go back to the head...
So I'll back him in here. He played a good shot with his last. He should know the line. He should know the pace. The jack hasn't really moved. It's gone sort of more or less level with his last two. So
He's quick.
You reckon he's quick? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's one of those ones, isn't it? You sort of, you were holding a good shot, and the old mate's played a good shot, and then you're sort of thinking, don't be short, don't be short.
Yeah. So often these, what Peter Dive calls a free kick.
They're the hardest ones.
They're tough because you get in your own head.
Yep. Yeah, you expect yourself to get it.
Yep.
So there's one or two things that can happen. You sort of expect yourself to get it, and you get a little bit complacent with it, or you're aware that you might be getting too complacent with it, so you concentrate too much and you do what just happened.
Your shoulder gets a bit more tense and away it goes.
Yeah.
So an interesting measure here, I think. For 2, no. He's actually measured all of his own. 2. Yep.
2 to who?
2 to Urimba. 2 to the...
2 to the blue ones.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I looked out the window. It didn't look like that to me either. So it was that's interesting. A good result after it was 8-4 down. The scoreboard on our is correct. I think the other one hasn't quite been updated properly yet. I'll just add that 2 to Telfer. So 8-6 now. Ross Walker up. Who else we got here? Paul Goddard, my skipper from the weekend. Good luck to Brooke and Kane Carmichael from Malua. And Kane playing down to my left. He was one of the guys that beat us on the weekend. I don't know what. So Paul's being very gracious there. And Lockie from Origi Sports goes zone 7. Yep. And he and Kudajar just asking if we can get around the grounds. It's Billy Johnson did a great promo video on the Soccer Boys. Chuck a link in the whoever there from Engadine Cougars, chuck a link in the comments there, and we'll see if we can have a look. Maybe something to see. I'll just hit the right button here. There it is. It's a little longer.
So yeah, that's what I was talking about. So we played a bit of a shorter end going back towards the club. Obviously, that's the faster side. Now we played a little bit of a longer end coming up the hill, and it's worked for James because Ross's first bowl has been found wanting. So James whacks one on it here. It's going to put the pressure on. And his tactic, if that's exactly what it is, might prove to be fruitful. But he's just pulled it a bit tight.
Well, as you said, a guy that knows the green pretty well. Obviously, talked to you blokes a bit about it.
Yep. Yeah, he asked a few questions. Like, I mean, when he was here, what's this do? What's that do? There he is, another short one. You jump on it here. He needs to jump on it here, really take control of the end. Yeah, James was in a bit of a, obviously an enviable position as far as being able to come up for a roll-up regularly because he's only at Ourimbah, which is about 50 minutes down the road, so it's a bit further to come if you're at Engadine, of course.
So I'll do my best to get some round-the-ground scores. I can tell you now that
Shot.
Kane Carmichael and Dean Pope, Kane Carmichael Malua Bay, Dean Pope Ingleburn, Kane Carmichael currently up 10-2, and I'll tell you now that definitely a bit of a dark horse is my mate Kane. In this one, he'll surprise some people. Malua being such a strong club, but the way he played on the weekend.
Gee, that's a good shot. He's backed himself to draw through the hole. See what I mean by the vicious turn?
Yeah, it's late too.
Yeah.
So I've got my little gun sight out here. I can see down the rinks 9-5. So that will be, where's section 1? There it is. So Brett Goodchild versus Chanel Jacouche is Brett's up 9-5 on that one. And it's 5-all on the next rink. It's just like Heath Austin versus Paul Kerwin. So 5-all over there as well. That's all I can see on this green. Yeah, the tactic's working, isn't it?
Well, it appears to be. I mean, he hasn't bowled outstanding, but he's jumped on it a bit quicker. But this one's going to cut one out, I reckon. Yeah, as you can see, just a little bit more erratic on that end.
Yeah, and the shifting length will cause that as well as the, excuse me, as you said, as well as the running towards the.
Yeah, the uphill downhill factor. That's the thing. So we've got a few people at the club, which is good. It's only early, so I anticipate that as the day gets on, we'll get a few more. But always draws a reasonable crowd, the rookies. Once the spectators crawl out of bed and get their get something in their guts, I'm sure there'll be a few people here watching.
That's it. So we're at 8-all now. On this good little comeback there from James. He's taking control a little bit. Delivering Jack here. So I'm having fun here at the moment. I'm kicking some rust off, but I've also switched some cameras around after the wet that I had at Cabramatta. Soaked all the cameras out there, so I've played around with them a bit during the week. And so we'll just see if I can not hit the wrong buttons. Not doing too bad so far, I don't think. Oops. Irony.
Commentator's curse.
Yep, straight away. Cursed myself. Beautiful. Yep, first ball back.
Yeah, you watch. You watch. I reckon that most of the first bowls will be heavy coming this way and the opposite going the other way.
She's put that out there.
He has.
Yep, a little bit too much air by the looks. Just resting on that line will be about a metre and a bit next to Jack there.
Yeah, his speed was pretty good. He was only probably 8 or 9 inches over.
Looked like a very careful bowl.
Needs to run into something, I think. Runs into that.
Yep. Sit and roll down.
So it appears as though Ross has found this side of the green to be the easier one. He's playing it up and down. Not sure what James is doing. I haven't paid that much attention to it. We'll find out next end.
Yep. Well, he's got the perfect grass there. Ran a little bit through. Still one down. All right, I'm hunting for scores on the other green. I don't have a view of it from here. It's all pretty close over there.
Sitting up a bit too high.
Yeah, I think I'll just leave that alone. Well, I can track down this green, which is sections 1 and 2. Oh, look at that. Off his own, off Ross's bowl there and laying down for 2 shots. Still pretty open this way.
Still a lot of room.
Yeah.
This is a better line. It's probably the best line he's played.
It's all about weight now. It's got a lot of finishing to do. Well, he's getting closer. Not quite shot, I don't think, as we look out the window.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah.
He's just ran through a fraction. Could even still be 2. Well, he's not going to be tight, but he only has to beat those bowls to count, but it still leaves Ross a fair bit of room.
Mm-hmm. Still very drawable. He's holding 3. No need for anything silly here. Just needs to take a metre off his last, and he
takes a metre off, he's all over it. It's a good line again.
Yep.
That's where they come from. Just needs to get down quick. If it gets down quick, get down quicker.
Oh, well. You know, he's saved a couple. Still one down, I'd suggest. And definitely actually looking out the window.
Don't want to harp on it, but every bowl was heavy then.
Well, it's every single one's passed. 100% right. Harp on it all you want. Yep, just the one. I said right at the start of this singles competition is all about getting one close every time. And that's what's happening.
Yeah, I found that, playing singles, you've really just got to back yourself with every bowl. You can't second guess yourself. You've got to be confident with what you've chosen to do before you step onto the mat. There's no one else to blame except yourself, so you don't have to worry about yourself. You're not going to be arguing with, the little red devil on one shoulder and the white one on the other. You just got to go with your gut, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, or you go down swinging.
Those poor devils on my shoulder both say drive. That's why I'm no good at singles.
I should have said an angel and a devil.
Yeah, no, I think you did. I said, I think I've only got two devils. They rip all the hair out of the side of my head.
Good starter, bit of a longer length, heavier end or heavier direction, and he's put one within the yardstick. That's a pretty good start.
It looks skinny to me.
Yeah, it should be skinny, yeah.
Geez, that camera's jumping, isn't it? It doesn't like being in the sun, I don't think. As long as it doesn't fail on me, we'll be right.
We'll get another hour or so and you'll be right.
Yeah. But that's right. It's working. We've got colour. We get to watch these bowls come down. It's not just being a perfectionist, I think.
So that's the key, though, like getting back to the bowls. In this direction, you have to really make sure that your first bowl's up and about past the jack. It gives you an opportunity to work back from that. And it's also, as anybody that plays bowls knows, the back ones are always in the game. So lay a good foundation with your first bowl. Set it at a decent distance behind the jack, like that first one of James's, and you set yourself up pretty well.
Yep. So you said it yourself. No short ones in the last game. 2 short ones this time in the first 4 bowls coming down.
Yeah, it's just you getting it into your head that you got to, you got to throw it that much harder.
A little bit more pressure from the shoulder. So I've just received another flood warning from down south. Once again, anyone down there on the south coast from Wollongong down, I hope you're all safe and looking after yourselves and your neighbours. It's pretty rough down there at the moment. Another one passed, so you just a little bit pushy even. You seems to be tough to get the precise weight coming this direction.
And this one's up and about. He looks pretty good. No, that's a good shot. There's always a chance of overcorrecting on those ones too. He's adjusted perfect.
Yep, spectacular. Kyle Langley, Morning Two Shoes, $1 million commentary. Geez, I wish I was worth that much, mate. But we're getting a lot of usage out of your mail model from McLean at the moment. Kyle Langley, one of the better bowls guys getting around. He's a good man. Saw him at the conference as well.
Drops down quick here. He's close.
Yeah.
Drops down quick.
Just ran through a little bit. He's not far off.
He's played a good end there, and he's hasn't quite got the goods on it, but he's played a good end.
Close look here for his last bowl. Richard Cater just saying fantastic club with better people. Played in the Pairs tournament last month at Raymond Terrace. Good food and amazing atmosphere at the club. You were talking about the food earlier, weren't you?
Good on you, Richard.
Yeah.
What a legend.
Introduction, yep, champion.
Yeah, I'll show you where the membership forms are, mate. Richard was... Hey, sorry, what was that?
Why aren't you umpiring? Is the
Lennon,
question.
why aren't you umpiring? Just shut up, John. John Lindsay's going to be the umpire for the next 3 days. So Gay will be his assistant. Look out, Gay has told me, John, she's going to keep you on your toes. So you just keep your smart aleck comments to yourself, mate, until you wait till you get here tomorrow and see how you go.
That's it. Gay's out there at the moment and rocked up this morning, told she was doing both greens, and the look on her face was priceless.
Well, I said, listen, we got a guy by the name of KFC. When you see him tomorrow, let him know that he let you down.
So there's one shot there, I think, to Ross Walker. Alan Law, hi guys, thanks for it all. Ex-pro golfer coach Sean O'Toole playing today for the Lawman. I'll find out, I'm not sure.
Sean O'Toole is playing.
He is now, is he?
Yep.
Cool, I can't remember all the names. Sandra Bruce on the line, as always. G'day, mate. Should be sitting here getting behind the blue boss. Oh, there's a measure for second. I've gone early.
No, it's only one.
Yeah.
Yep. one. Chris has signalled one.
And who else we got? Gary Kiff. Engadine Cougars, link to the story. There it is. So that's a legitimate link, guys. If you want to have a look at the story of the soccer players that have come through, that's sitting there on the Engadine Cougars post that's just come on the live chat there.
Something a bit different here. He's brought the mat up a bit. Playing a shorter length on the quicker direction. Could change the game a bit. We'll see whose favour it works out in.
Well, he's pushed it all the way to the tee, which is a tactic I like in a respot game.
Yeah, it has its pluses and minuses, I guess. But the one thing about it is that if you play well on the end with the respot on the tee, when the jack's close to the tee, you should always have bowls round about the tee. If you get into trouble, you should still have one hanging around.
And for any of the people who don't know what we're talking about, if they kill an end, so if the jack goes out of bounds on either side, in most competition games and pennants, you'll replay that end, so it starts again. In this one, they pick the jack up and put it back on the end of the line there, on the 2 metre mark from the ditch, and that's where it must sit. And so essentially, if you're covering the tee, then you're doing very well.
So here's one of those shots. It's a bit of a two birds with one stone type of shot. He's got shot and he's covered the tee at the same time. Looks on a good line again. Close to the jack here.
Geez, that looked narrow out of when it came out, but wow, he's sitting there on that back bowl. That's a fantastic shot. Yeah, I thought narrow.
Yeah, well, obviously it's a little bit shorter, so you can generally on a shorter end get away with a narrower line. Generally.
Steve Murray saying we make it hard to get any work done. Well, Steve, I'm glad you're watching, mate. Peter Dive, hello, Two Shoes. How's the Palace? a bit of a laugh. We had I've spent the last 4 days, I think, with Peter Dive at Cabramatta, and he's the poor man had to put up with me. That's not quite in the ditch, by the way. I was just looking for that bowl. Up in the castle, I guess it was, in the boardroom. It's a bit different here, mate. I can actually see the green.
That's the good thing about this club, mate, is that we've got 2 very good viewing areas.
Oh, yeah.
And we're fortunate enough to commandeer most of this one for the weekend.
Yeah, I wasn't messing around. I went and grabbed the big long table, thanks to, I think it's Stephen, is it, over there, giving me a hand?
I can't remember.
Yeah, one of the brilliant staff here at Raymond Terrace.
It's probably Sean.
Sean, my apologies. You'll start with S. Yep, Sean, good man. A lot of names in my head at the moment.
Yeah, so there you go. Like, it's one of those situations. James obviously down. He wants to be up, but it's a bit of a faster direction, this one, and he's just cooked both of them. It's not hard to do, especially on a shorter end and a faster direction. And he doesn't really want to move the jack.
No.
If he moved the jack there, it would have given a bit of a look for James to make a score.
Look, he's looking pretty calm up there, but I reckon he would have been having kittens.
Oh, yeah.
Watching that go down.
Well, he's picked a narrower line.
Mm-hmm.
Still looks fast to me.
He's just not letting go.
No, he's fast.
Fast may be what he wanted. He does have all those bowls back, but just didn't pick the line narrow enough, I don't think. Held right out. So another one there.
Lost it into the ditch.
Yeah, no one there to Engadine.
No, he's lucky that he only dropped one then, James.
Michael May saying, hey, a close game of singles, it really is. And these short games and shortened formats are becoming more common, as you know, around bowls itself and bowls in general. I know Bowls Australia is pushing for shorter formats, and if we're going to get into the Olympics, then that's what they're asking for. But the point I was trying to make, I guess, in the end, is that once a player kicks away in a short game, it's hard to come back.
It's very hard.
It's a long road back, and neither of these men have have kicked away at all.
And that's the thing about bowls is there's a large element of luck and or bad luck that comes into it, and on a shorter format you get one bit of bad luck that goes against you, and it's certainly hard to sort of rein it in. That's a very good start.
Yep, almost perfect. The ideal start. Was leading for me in a pennants game. That's the bowl I'd want to see.
Do you skip?
No, I'm not that good. I'm a second, mate.
You want bowls that close so you can just chuck them around the back. That's what I'm onto you.
Exactly right. No, my the bowls organiser and the match committee at my club think I drive too much, so they put me up front.
No, okay.
That's why you size 5s. Tractor tyres, big black bowls.
Pull a set of size 7s off the trolley for you if you
I
like.
love that very much. Can hold a set of size 7s. Hard to get hold of. Drake's Pride, I think, still makes them. They're the only ones.
Very hard to get hold of. One of my first skippers down in the Division 7 at Devonport, he used to have a set of size 7s. Jeez, he used to wreak some havoc with those things, I tell you.
They make everyone jump when they hit the backboard, I can tell you now.
He could let go of them too.
Yeah.
I tell you what, he could send them down there.
Cannonballs there.
Interesting. James is... no, Ross has changed his hand here. Beats that back bowl's good. Yeah.
Mm.
Six one, half a dozen the other there, really. I mean, he's played 2 on the other side. You don't really need to change your hand in that situation.
Yeah, he has. He's changed hands. The left-hander. He's gone to the forehand. He's not happy with the way he released that, showing a bit of frustration.
They both changed hands. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd question that decision. Well, he's blocked that hand off now, I think.
So now Ross is back to the hand that he played his first 2 bowls on. The first one obviously being the shot. Wouldn't it be ironic if he drew another one here? And he's just forced it wide.
Had the weight.
Yeah, he did have good weight, but yeah, you'll notice that on the shorter lengths you haven't been having to take as much grass. Generally speaking, on a shorter end you can take less grass anyway. It doesn't matter what surface you're playing on. But yeah, even on these greens, the further up towards the tee you move, the more turn you get.
They've got an edge on that outer, but it hasn't changed anything much at all. So looks like one to me. I'll wait for the measure on that jack high bowl. The camera angle sometimes a bit tricky.
Yeah, the camera angle's deceiving, isn't it? Because that was... What is he just giving away 2 there?
Straight away.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I did think that back one, but then, as I said, I've seen enough of these fisheye lenses, the wide-angle lenses, to be able to know that it can be a little tricky. So 2 to Yarimba, and we've got a 3-shot lead now, and probably as big as we've seen this game. 12-9, 5 shots to go for Ross Walker. 17 up game, and as we said, these games go quick.
There's been a noticeable tactic. He's shortened the length up. It's been noticeable. Mind you, this one's a bit further than the last end, going this way.
Yeah, I think he maybe pushed a bit hard. No, well, I guess if it's deliberate, then he's gone a long way. His mat's only about 1.5 metres from the tee.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's actually trying to employ a tactic or whether he's just playing it by feel, or doesn't seem to worry him. He's played another good starting bowl.
Yep. Still looks a bit weighty coming this way. No, I'm wrong. It's pretty close to jack high. It just ran on sideways almost.
James has lobbed one inside him. So
Mm-hmm.
1 to Arimba. He needs to win. He needs to either win this end or the next to stay in the hunt. It's starting to sneak away on him. Always try to stay within and obviously try to be further as far in front as you can, but when you're in these types of situations, you don't really want to get more than one end behind or two ends behind, and especially in the shorter games. So that would be anything more than 4 would be obviously more than one end.
The way you put that, I'm going to remember that. I haven't heard that one before, and I'm sure it's pretty common knowledge, but I'm a bit of a novice myself, so that's a good one. But we're about a rink and a half in here. Is there any difference left to right at all?
You mean
from the edge, from the ditch?
Yeah. So how far? No, that's generally where it is all the time. Yeah.
I just wonder if there's a really wide hand coming in.
Well, on that rink, not so much. Like generally, the wide side of the rink is the left-hand side, as we're looking at it now on the screen. That's generally the wider side. But that rink over there on the ditch side, it'll still come back off the bank a little bit. So it's not as big a difference with a wide and a tight side as the other rinks.
Probably cost himself a shot there again.
I know rink 2, if you play the back end going towards the road on rink 2, he'll come back at you. That's how wide it is.
Well, bowl's turning back in.
So here we are. We've got James holding 2. Chance to really seal the end up here if he happens to nail it. And put the pressure back on Ross.
Looks close to me. Might be. Is it pulling up, or has it got the finish?
Not going to have the running to get back to the jack, but you see what I mean? Like it still turns back off the bank there pretty good.
But that's 3 shots now. Ross Walker just sadly pushing that front bowl in, knocking his opponent in. What do you play here? Do you follow him down and try to sit in between
I think you've got to follow him down and just try to beat the last bowl.
Looks like what he's lining up for.
It's all on his weight here. It's not sure. He needs a little bit of weight. Yeah, he's just going to tail away. That's why he needed a bit more weight on that line anyway. So there's a bit of a free kick here, Ben.
Yep, there's James. That terrifying free kick. Could get a 4 here.
James Telfer could take the lead here in one foul swoop. And that's what I mean by the short ends, or the short formats. See, Ross has sort of jumped out to a decent lead, and now it could all come undone in one foul swoop.
Jeez, he's given this some grass. It's got a long way to come back, but then he's got a fair amount of space to draw into.
He had good grass.
He did that last time as well, just that free kick, that free run at the jack, and he's just pushed it a bit hard. Maybe a lesson there for this is rookies. Still learning a lot about the game and about themselves in this, but that's 3 shots, all even. Ends don't matter. I have no choice but to put the ends up there, but ends don't matter in this. First to 17. 12 all. So just looking at some comments, you're watching the 2023-2024 Bowls New South Wales Rookie Singles Finals from Raymond Terrace Bowling Club.
Home of the Jets.
Home of the Jets, that's right. We love the Jets. That's a reference to the airport that's down here.
Yeah, the RAF base.
Williamtown. I spent way too much time there. You never sleep in at RAF base Williamtown because it's the Jets fly over your head and wake you up every single morning at that place. I've had some good times at that club.
We had Remembrance Day here a couple of weeks ago, and we were actually running a bowls tournament. We stopped for the minute silence and everything during the bowls tournament, and they had in the Anzac Park just over to our left. But if you're looking at the screen, it's to your right. Yeah, we got a really low flyover. It was so cool.
Yeah, F-35s it would have been too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
That's my old. I'm ex-Navy, 20 years I did, and Remembrance Day we paused at, can't remember where I was. Must have been at Huskerson. We just get the helicopter.
HMAS Albatross.
Yep, Tross, mate. That was my last base.
There you go. I've been there. It's a good spot.
Yeah.
Good shot here. Once again, I don't want to harp on it, but Ross's first bowl coming back this way, short.
One of the weirdest things happened at, I think it was Williamtown. One of the guys we'd had a 3-4 day deployment overseas. We landed back at Williamtown and went to the Junior Sailors Mess, or the OR's Mess as they'd call it over there. And one of the gentlemen said, I'm going to go and get a pigeon. And he stood up and walked out of the place, picked up a pigeon, and walked back in.
Really?
It was the most random thing I've ever seen. How do you pick up a pigeon? And why?
Yeah, I don't get it.
It was weird. It was a strange place to be.
See, there you go. Now, two short bowls, all sorts of pressure on Ross here. And he's actually got something in his way. Now he's forced to change his hand.
He'd be feeling it too at the moment. A catch-up's almost as good sometimes as a lead. Dropping a 3 after, feeling really good. I'm 3 ahead. Maybe I'm nearly there. You're only 5 shots away from the win.
Yep.
And then your opponent gets one back. But this is bounced through.
Pinball machine.
Little wiki woos. And down it goes.
Oh, I'd be going after that.
Yeah, I reckon I'd have a crack. Nothing to lose.
You get it out. He's under all sorts of pressure to cut it down from 3. You get that bowl out, you're holding 3, and Ross he's got to be on the mat feeling it for sure. I mean, you can trail the jack for 3 too. It's just what you're confident in. But I tell you what, if you extract that bowl from the head, I can guarantee you Ross would be walking up the other end with a lot of nervous energy in his belly.
Yeah, maybe 3 shots in his head instead of just the 1.
Yep.
Something I've been guilty of. My brother-in-law will tell you all about that. I go to the head with, go back to the mat with 2 shots and try to play them both. Never works.
He's tried to play it. Is he going to turn enough? No, he's going to turn too much. Oh, he might grab the jack.
That was close.
Oh.
And just running through, played that pretty well. He had
he
3.
did. Well, he had 2 choices, like I said, trail the jack or land that bowl, but he's obviously tried to trail the jack.
That's it. As Ross has a quick look, I'll go through some comments here. We've got Lee Totoro James, still plays with size 7s.
Really?
Insolites. Wow, they super grips. Richard Cato, Fong Man and myself, 100% back for the 19th annual John McNeil Pairs.
Good on you, Richard.
Do yourself a favour.
I actually was fortunate enough to be blessed with Richard's company during our last John McNeil Pairs.
Excellent. Yeah,
we played Richard and Franklin on the ditch rink over there. It was a cracker of a game, actually.
What date do you... when are they on in the year?
So it's in November. I think it was the 11th and 12th this year. Was the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, so Remembrance Day.
If he's around that front one...
He's going to turn in hard here. Draw it. Yeah, that's a good shot, that.
Perfect shot there, Ross Walker.
That's a good shot. And see, look at that. See what I mean about it coming back off the bank? Yep. He didn't have much room to swing back into there, and he did it perfect.
He's nailed 2 shots in the end.
Yeah, that was an exceptional shot, that. You always like to see that, somebody drawing themselves out of trouble on a big wide hand, it comes back near sideways. It's, I don't know, maybe I'm a bit old, but, that's what I grew up watching.
Big swoop.
Yeah.
So what else we got? We got Michael May saying his uncle had size 6s back in the day. Barry Dixon supporting Steve Tinknell from Munmora. I guess that's how you say
Steve Tinknell, yeah. He's been here too, actually. Steve Tinknell, he's been here rolling up too.
Okay, James, Paul Davis, Bingo's watching. Clive Polly, Clive Polly from St George's Basing, asking me how Leanne's going. She's playing this afternoon, mate. I'll keep you updated. Don't worry about that. Barry Dixon, Paul Lurie we got there, John Lindsay.
You're an idiot, John.
Yep, super grips is what Lee James says. And
Bear watching from Campton.
Bear watching from Camden without a space bar. So, good start there, Ross Walker.
So, Ross is now on the springboard.
You call it the springboard. So, this is a Bowls Australia thing that I first heard about while I was up at the Australian Open commentating.
Yep.
Some people call it the checkout.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Springboard, Checkout. I've heard a couple others too. I can't think of any at the moment. I had 5. Springboard, Checkout, doesn't matter. And I was asking people for new names. So the Checkout, what we're talking about there is he can win it in one end, essentially.
Yep.
And he's pretty clear. He's only one shot away too, by the way. And he's currently holding game, and he's got
another one in there.
That's a cracker
Yeah,
of a
good
bowl.
shot.
What a time to do it as well. Now the pressure is definitely back on James.
Yeah, James has been guilty of being heavy coming in this direction the last couple of ends too, and this is going to force him to play it a little bit heavier as well. That last bowl looks so juicy.
This is quick.
And unfortunately, what it tends to do is it puts that little bit of further thought in your mind about be up.
See, yeah, look, that one's a bit closer, and he's getting closer every time. But he's currently not holding game with the pressure on, and you don't want to be guilty of chasing at the same time. You know, you can still draw it, but you know, if you're going to play it heavy, give it a crack.
It's just one of those ones where you don't really want to get too close. You fill that hole up there; it sort of looks really nice for.
Yeah, it's a big target, isn't it?
Yeah, this is a good shot. He's played that well.
Important bowl.
That's probably the best bowl he could have played.
Holding 3 doesn't really matter. He only needs 1.
Oh, he has to draw the shot. Narrow a line. Still heavy.
Yeah, I'm still worried about speed
It's
here.
still heavy.
Because the hangs, that late turn, any kind of weight will push it past. It's a... Yeah, so you talk about it coming back, and they really J curve on this green, on this synthetic. So what do you do here now if you're Ross? Do you put one back in amongst those 3 at the back?
Oh,
You're holding 2-3 already.
I think you have to.
Mm.
You're holding game. If he draws it, he draws it. But you don't want him to be able to go out there and play the cowboy shot either. So then all of a sudden he's on the springboard. I'd probably cover the back, make him play the right shot.
Yeah. We'll get the tee. Because the kill is an option as well if he goes really quick.
That's probably why I would have played the other end, but anyway.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. But look, he's put 3 good bowls down that way. He's got the grass pretty much nailed.
Gets around this one, he's close.
Well, that's what he's done. That'll be the tee.
That's good.
We can hang out, look right in front of us, and that's definitely got the tee. It's a foot to the left.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Too wide.
Yep.
Oh, James. See, it's what pressure does to you.
Correct.
Eh?
Look, he adjusted his weight fairly well. He's run all 4 past. And that's game to Ross Walker from Engadine. So that's the first game of the first round of round 1.
Round 1 of the first session.
The first session, correct, of the 2023-2024 Rookies Singles Finals from Raymond Terrace. We've just finished watching Ross Walker and James Telfer from Engadine and Urimba, respectively. Lennon Scott, thanks so much for joining us for that one. Will you be back for the next one?
Yeah, why not?
Perfect, excellent. So we'll see you next time. I'll just fix those graphics up so it looks all pretty. For the game between, I had it up a second ago. There it is. We've got game 2 or round 2 is Chanel Jacouche from St John's Park and Paul Kerwin from Parks Railway.